Hello, collective. How you doing? This setup is very random, but this is my first long form tarot video, so say hi to my assistant here. She will be reading for me. But I wanted to know how does your SP view you? That's what I want to know. SP being your special person. You know, I want this. This could be somebody you're dating. It could be somebody you are courting. You know, you're in a relationship with, or you're. Well, Jesus, what was all of that? You know, somebody that you are in cahoots with, or situationship, or whatever. It could be your special person. Wheel of Fortune. How do they view you? Someone with a lot of moving parts. Someone who is very, very, very hard to... The word that come to mind was hard to come by. But I was really trying to say is hard to put a finger on. Hard to figure out. You know what I mean? But I think with this, they also believe that you're hard to come by because of that. I just got a notification. They believe you're hard to come by, and that could be a part of why you are so hard to figure out. You know what I mean? Wow, the Sun card too. They see you as someone who is truly a divine being, a light being, for lack of better terms, because you see this sun is all, this mockingbird is all in the sun, in the spotlight. They see you as a light being and someone who is hard to come by, of course, and like hard to put a finger on, hard to read, you know, because you could be a rebel, you know, sometimes, or a rebel with a cause where you go against the grain of what everyone else does, but at the same time, there's a meaning for it, you know, you still have a reason for the stuff that you do, although it might not be blatant or very easily understood. Rebels with a cause are very misunderstood because a lot of people don't understand, why are you going against the grain? Why are you not following? Why are you thinking for yourself? You know, when you live in a world where most people are followers, most people are sheep, and they are told what to do and they're okay with yes, no, maybe so, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. They, you know, when they come across somebody who is as such, who thinks on their own and who questions everything, of course, they have no reason to be intimidated or to be at least intrigued. Let's say that. We have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. That's like 3 major arcanas right off the bat. Intuitive. They know that you're someone who is very intuitive, very divinely guided. Okay? They see that you are someone who is divinely guided. Justice. Jeez Louise, that's so interesting. We got the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, and the Justice card. All that came out. And then the High Priestess was at the bottom of the deck. That's very interesting. You are somebody who they can't put a finger on, but they're still very excited to be around. And they also know that you are a truth seeker. This is why they feel like they can't pinpoint you and put a finger on you, because you speak from truth. You speak from the divine, the sacred knowledge that you have internal. They can tell that when you talk, you're not just talking out of your ass. You're talking out of like channeled information, channeled energy. Okay? And I wasn't going to say that, but okay. Everything you say goes. This is how they're viewing you. You know what I mean? Or, yeah, this is how they view you. They view you as someone who gets their way, but not just out of the fact just because you are pretty or because you have this or you have that. To me, it's given more so because you have unlocked something that they are still trying to unlock within you and understand within you. You have some level of universal knowledge or sacred knowledge, spiritual knowledge divine knowledge that they feel that you have unlocked, coupled with the light energy and the happiness and vitality from the universe, that really makes you very abundant, very hard to read, honey. Hard to read. Hey, get out the camera, boo. Why she got all the way up on the camera like that? That's interesting. And then we have the, okay. Stop it, please. Stop it. We have 9 of feathers in the night. 9 of feathers in the night. 9 of swords in the Knight of Wands. Okay. They see that you're a person who really is very confident in your power, in this knowledge that you have. You're confident in your intuition. You're confident in the moves that you make. With truth and clarity, the Justice card coming out right before this, they truly feel that you are someone who means what you say, and they know that you, when you speak what you say with this knowledge, it's really truth. You feel me? But also with this Knight of Wands coming out too, action, they trust that you're somebody who not only just speak on the divine guidance that you get, you take action towards the divine guidance you get. And this is also why they see you in such a light, because you are somebody who puts in the action and who puts in the mental work. You feel me? You couple intuition with logic, and you actually don't sit back and just wait around just knowing all this information. You're not just sitting around being a big head, but they see you as somebody who really is like well driven, very dedicated, very motivated to, like, and self-motivated at that. Or if not self-motivated, but somebody who's motivated from the divine, which is dang near self-motivated, because a lot of people can't tap into that otherworldly realm in order to alchemize energies to be motivation, to be discipline, to be determination. But this, your SP sees that you have that. You have that ability to transform your self-empowerment, or to transform your downfalls into something bigger and better. And this is also why they can't put a finger on you, why they feel that you are someone who is like the Wheel of Fortune, who like this octopus here. Octopus to me is a level of like, are they earthly? Are they a part of this earth, or are they a part of another earth? You know what I mean? It's giving like otherworldly. You're kind of otherworldly in a sense, where you have this aura, this mystical, mysterious aura about you, because you do things that are way more capable than what they consider the typical person to be doing. Of course, that being the typical person of somebody who's just easier following than leading, somebody who's easily being told what to do and just, you know what I mean, living their life in a lie. So with that, it's like they're starting to see, wait, like, is this person like real, or is this person like a fake? You know, they question whether you are somebody who's truly a part of this world, or if you're like an alien or an angel mixed with an alien, something like that. 8 of Wands. But they see, though, they're impressed with this, though. At the same time, they're impressed because the energy and the results that you get, because of the action that you put out, because of the intuition, because of your approach with both logic and intuition, they're seeing now you have a lot of energy inside of you. You have a lot up to give. Simply put, you have a lot to give. Okay? And they understand that this is why you have the results that you have. This is why you came off very intimidating to this person, or why you have what you have. You have the things to show for it, because you're not sitting around and just leaning on either side of the spectrum to say, well, I have this, I have this. No, with that Justice card again, justice, the true meaning and the true vision representation of the Justice card is the scales. The scales are balanced, and they see that you are a very balanced individual between your logic and your intuition, between your action and your thought. And that's what's impressive to them, to where, holy crap, you're on another level. The Queen of Pentacles is what came out, but these three popped out, which I'm not going to take. Queen of Pentacles. They see you as someone who's genuinely peaceful, genuinely at peace, and who's also abundant. You know what I mean? They see you as someone who's not just telling the world that y'all are at peace, or making it seem like you're at peace, lying to yourselves that you're at peace, because they are. They truly see that this is a person who truly has what it takes to find peace, to create a home of peace, and to protect it. Interesting, because these two cards here are like a porcupine and a hedgehog. They have protective scales, protective armors on them, but also comfort. That's an oxymoron right there. But they see that with this card right here, this says a lot right here, with comfort and all this comfort and prosperity, but it's a porcupine or a hedgehog. This is how they see you, as somebody with a tough shell, but you have all that you want within when you get to know you. When they get to know you, they see how much mushier you are, how softer your true inner core really is. But it's just paired with this hard, tough shell, because you have to protect what you've worked for. You've learned to protect the comfort, the true peace that you've found within yourself, that you've created within yourself. Okay? A lot of people who are faking the funk and telling themselves that they're peaceful, they don't have it for real, and they don't know how to protect it for real, because why? They don't know what they're protecting. They really are used to the chaos. They truly feed into the chaos more than they give themselves credit, because it's easier to lead into that when you have not normalized and regulated your nervous system to enjoy peace. Okay? In order to enjoy peace, you have to be okay with the mundane. You have to be okay with nothing going on in your day-to-day. They see you as someone who's okay with not a lot. You know what I mean? And that's also too why it's hard to put a finger on someone like this too, because you may be prosperous. You may have a lot of things. You may have a little bit more comfort on the, in the physical realm or on the outside. But at the same time, you're still a very humble person, because why? You truly know what it's taken to get to this peace and to work for this peace. You're not just faking the funk and posting the picture up, making it seem like you look like you're peaceful. No. When you've worked for this peace, you know the outer shell that you have to maintain in order to keep it going. It's not just sitting there and making it seem like, being a hardball and just brushing everybody off. No, you have the ability to open up and show your soft side when it works for you. But at the same time, you know how to show your butt and to show those thorns, to wean off the scariest predators when it also comes time to do that. The people who don't have peace and don't know how to truly protect what they have, they're easier to be pushed off of this pedestal, because they don't know what it's taken to actually work for this, to actually cultivate this for themselves and maintain it. So what is the reason why these came out, Spirit? Wow, the World. Okay. We have the Six of Swords, the World card, and the Five of Cups. They see you as somebody. This is so interesting, because I don't think this is what they see you as. This is their energy, Spirit, and these cards jumped out. It's like you bring up a mirror to this collective here, to all the things that they want. Your SP, you inspire your SP, your special person, to have the drive, the mentality, and the approach to life that you have. Okay? Because they want the world. They want to feel like the world is at their fingertips. They're going through the necessary changes in order to readjust the twinks and the kinks in order to get the true peace that they want. Because this is, to me, the SP here, your SP, the opposing collective here, they are, it seems like they are scratching the surface of what you are already doing. But they're doing it in a way out of ego, in a way that is not true. You know what I mean? And it's not the way to go about doing it. So it's like something is not fully clicking in order for them to get the fulfillment that they're looking for. But they are getting some fulfillment. They are getting some. They are transitioning and readjusting to get more insight and all this stuff. And of course, also insight. Them interacting with you is inspiring them and giving them the insight, the necessary adjustments to approach it in the correct way. Okay? They're learning that the world, it's like basically you came into this person's world to show them a depiction of what they already want, what they're already scratching the surface of, what they're already working towards and stuff. But it's also the fact that, are they going to push their ego aside enough to see it as that? To not use you as competition, but to use you as a container to grow into, to assist them to get to this point. Because both of y'all, neither one of y'all are perfect, of course. Nobody's perfect. But it's still like you're going to be growing through this person, through being the container for this person. And they're going to be growing into the role that they want to do, and into this approach more by being a container for you, and vice versa, pouring into you and you pouring into them. Both of y'all have to be a container to see the necessary insight and adjustments that y'all have to do in order to get the fullest equilibrium out of the scenario. Excuse me. What do we have at the bottom of the deck? Soul searching. Wow, the Four of Cups. Reevaluation. This SP has a lot, they have gone back to the drawing board to see if they really want it, if they, you know what I mean, now that they have this newfound energy, this newfound perspective. To me, first of all, it's kind of giving, they're straddling the fence of their ego and their truth. To where some days they want to be in their ego and move, have this stank move and move out of, out of spite and out of previous energies. But at the same time, who they're blossoming into is a more person who is liberated, free, and living their truths louder. And of course, before that person fully comes into reality, you might jump back and forth between her or not between them. So I think with this collective, their SP here, they are gaining the courage to get the solutions that they need. They're gaining the courage to fully take on and reside in the energy of that logical and intuitive balanced approach. Okay? They're starting to now see a lot of courage on here. They're gaining a lot of courage because now they've seen that, hey, hold up, I might have been the reason why I didn't get the results that I wanted. I wasn't looking for results. I was looking to argue. I was looking to fulfill my ego. Okay? But now they're starting to say that, hey, okay, I don't care about not that they don't care, it's going to be that easy to disregard, but they're learning that you got to push your ego aside in order to get the results that you want. If not, your ego is going to win every time. Okay? If you just want to win the conversation, or you want to be bigger, or whatever the F, cool. But did you solve the problem? Is what they're thinking about now. They're starting to learn that, okay, all these time that you want to, you know what I mean? And that goes back to what I was saying about protecting your peace. If you're moving out of ego, you're not protecting your peace like you think you are. Just because you are feeding into the conversation of being the bigger person, or arguing and matching energy, that's not truly protecting your peace. And they're starting to see that now. Like, you don't have, sometimes in order to be the bigger person, you have to get out of your ego and say, okay, you win. You win. I have peace. I have abundance. I have prosperity. So I'm okay over here. I'm okay not being the winner in your story. Now they're learning that being the bigger person, it's not a part of having the biggest ego in the room. Honestly, truly, it's the opposite. Whoever can be the truest version of them and know when to walk away because their boundaries, somebody's crossing their boundaries, that's what shows up and shows the courage that you have, the confidence that you truly have, and the withhold for the F stuff that people throw at you. Okay? Because life is going to keep throwing bull crap at you. Everybody gets thrown bull crap. Everybody has to go through trials and tribulations, turmoil, and all of this stuff. But the question is, how do you handle it? If you want to keep matching energies with the universe is going to win every single time. So people, they're now learning, like, hey, don't feed into the bull crap. Just focus on the solutions that you're bringing. Focus on the results that you have. Because honestly, what is it? Best revenge is your paper. Always stay gracious. Best revenge is your paper. That's the winner here. And it's leading now to wanting to really stand true in their power. Always stay gracious. Why do I want to write that down? Always stay gracious. Best revenge is your paper. I'm not going to title it that, but now it's kind of giving like, okay, they're starting to consider the commitments that they've had in the past and moving forward too. Not just past, more so like the commitments that they can have, not just relationship wise, but even to their job, to the things they're disciplined, to their goals, to the things they want. Now they're starting to look at it from a new perspective, new light, new energy, because they're learning like, okay, once you move that pride aside, once you move that ego aside, you still have results. You still have solutions that you have to chase. So if you want to fulfill your ego, you want to chase after your ego and you know what I mean, find solutions for your ego to feel more better every day. That's okay. Congrats to you. But now they're learning how far behind that left they ass. They're learning that these are the reasons why these commitments and these situations that you promised to yourself never came to fruition, because you were focused on proving your ego as opposed to reaching solutions, reaching results. Now they want to look at the commitments and they want to actually reevaluate their commitments and see what better approach can they do now to get that. And how this relates to you. How does it view you? You are the one to inspire them to this. But let me see something real quick too. I want to know if are they going to be committing to you, or are they going to just reevaluate the situation? Oh, wow. We have the Lover's card at the bottom of the deck. Release, recovery. That's obviously a good sign. Let me know, Spirit, is this collective going to... Now it's giving the way they view you. Of course, they view you as somebody who lacks control, who it's like kind of like now they're starting to give you your credit and your recognition, your flowers for being this person that they couldn't read at the beginning. Of course you can't put a finger on me because I'm just that different. I'm just that cool. But they're learning too that through this perception, when they view you from a different light, they actually are able to respect. That's the word I'm thinking about. They have a newfound respect for you once they shift and look at you from this perspective as opposed to the other perspective. At the beginning, it was given more like intimidated. I can't put a finger on you. I can't read you. Now it's like, okay, I don't fully get you still, but at the same time, I respect your approach and I respect the energy that you give me. I respect your drive. I respect your abilities. Then we have the five of Pentacles and the Devil card. I think that's the Devil. Or Shadow in this deck. Shadow. New possibilities. So, okay, just to close this reading off, Lord. Spirit, collective. Spirit, the universe, higher power, whatever you would like to say. To me, it's giving that they are willing to, once they go through this funk on their own, now that you've given this new perspective, whether that was intentionally or not intentionally, or they just got it from being around you, now it's giving like they are getting more empowered within themselves, because the opposing people, your SP, they were already straddling the fence of like, undecided if this is going to be something that, which way they wanted to go. But I feel like now that they are, and once they get over themselves and move out of their ego, they're going to be able to see you from a better perspective and see that you are not coming out with bad intentions. You're not coming out of ego. You're only inspiring them to harness their lives with new possibility, with new fresh eyes. And it's giving them a little bit more ambition to really tackle their life in a new approach now. So of course they're viewing you from a brighter light. You know what I mean? A light that is unlike no other. Resourceful. They see that you are someone who is prepared for anything. They see that you're someone who can withstand any situation because the logic and intuition that you have. So it's like now they're gaining more respect for you, and through that respect, it's like they're starting to understand you a little bit more. They're starting to understand you just a little bit more. And understand too your outer shell. They're starting to understand your outer shell. And now they want results too, though. They want results with you, honey bun. But that's only after they go to their drawing board and figure out, okay, it's giving me like on a chalkboard when they have all those science equations, science and math equations. It's like this person is now going back to the drawing board to see, okay, well, what did I do? What did I do wrong? How can I do this? How can I show up different? And then maybe after that, that's when they'll come back into your world and approach. But give it some time. Let them gain clarity on their own time now that you've inspired this change within them. But don't force it. Don't overgive. Don't overextend. Let them do them. And congratulations. I'm waiting. I want to see what's next.